It is one of the most unsettling and yet universally human experiences. You walk into a room you have never visited before, yet as you cross the threshold, a profound and unshakable feeling washes over you. I have been here before. You know the way the afternoon light will fall across the wooden floor. You know the precise words that a friend is about to speak. You know the exact gesture they will make as they speak them. For a single vertiginous second, the linear flow of time seems to stutter, to fold in upon itself, and you are suddenly adrift in a strange ocean of familiarity, watching a scene from your life that feels impossibly like a memory. This is the echo of a moment. This is a visit from the ghost of a time you never lived. This is déjà vu. Your rational mind, a magnificent instrument designed to navigate a predictable cause and effect world, scrambles for purchase. It offers you neat and tidy explanations, born from the logical world of neuroscience. It speaks of a brief delay between brain hemispheres, a momentary lag where one side of your brain processes an experience a millisecond before the other, creating the illusion of a memory. It suggests a tiny misfiring in the temporal lobe, a brief confusion between short-term and long-term memory, a simple neurological glitch, and perhaps for some fleeting instances of strange familiarity. These explanations are sufficient. They are clean, they are logical, they are safe. But they fail, do they not, to capture the sheer, profound quality of the experience? They fail to account for the deep, resonant feeling of significance that accompanies a true, powerful moment of déjà vu. They fail to explain the feeling of destiny, the sense that you are not just remembering but are being reminded of something. A neurological glitch does not feel sacred. A memory misfiring does not feel like a whisper from the universe itself. The explanations of the rational mind, for all their neatness, cannot account for the mystical awe, the feeling that you have just peeked behind the curtain of ordinary reality and witnessed one of its hidden magnificent mechanisms at play. This is where our exploration begins. It starts with the courageous decision to honor that feeling, to trust that profound sense of significance, and to ask a more expansive, more wondrous question. What if déjà vu is not a glitch in your brain, but a glimpse into another reality? What if it is not a false memory of your own past, but a true resonant memory bleeding through from the present of another you? This is the grand and startling premise we will investigate, that the experience of déjà vu is the evidence of your consciousness existing across multiple parallel timelines, and that in certain moments of vibrational alignment, you experience a bleed-through, a momentary crosstalk between your current self and an alternate self in a universe almost identical to your own. Imagine that your life is not a single lonely thread, but one strand in an infinite cosmic tapestry of possibilities. Every choice you have ever made, and every choice you have ever not made, has created a new branching timeline in the multiverse, a real, tangible reality, where another version of you is living out that other potential. From this perspective, déjà vu is the moment when your path and the path of an alternate self resonate so perfectly, so intensely, that the thin veil separating your timelines becomes permeable. For a split second, you experience what they are experiencing. You remember the moment because, in a very real sense, another version of your own soul has already lived it. The echo you feel is the echo of your own, vaster, multi-dimensional self, and it is a profound and loving reminder that you are part of a story far grander than you can possibly imagine. If this exploration resonated with the part of you that knows there is more to reality than what we see, then our journey together has only just begun. Each week we delve into the profound mysteries of consciousness, from ancient wisdom to modern science, to help unlock the secrets of your own magnificent being. Subscribe and activate the bell to join a community of fellow navigators and seekers. Let's continue to explore the unseen, together. To understand the nature of déjà vu, we must first expand our conception of reality itself. We have been taught to see time as a single solid highway, a linear path that stretches from a fixed past into an unknown future. But the strange truths of quantum mechanics, the science that governs the very foundation of existence, suggest a reality that is infinitely more vast, more fluid, and more magical. This is the theory of the multiverse, or the many worlds interpretation. Imagine reality not as a single highway, but as a great continental river delta, where the water of time flows from its source. At every moment of possibility, At every juncture where a particle could be here or there, where a choice could be made to turn left or right, the river splits. It branches into a new, entirely real, parallel stream. Every potential outcome, no matter how small, gets to play itself out in its own complete self-contained universe, its own unique timeline. This means that at this very moment there are countless, perhaps infinite versions of you, living out the consequences of every choice you ever made differently. There is a version of you who took that other job, who married that other person, who said yes instead of no. Each of these lives is as real and as valid as your own. This is the great library of infinite lives, a cosmic repository where every possible story is not just written but is being actively lived. These parallel worlds are not necessarily in distant galaxies. They are all around you, right here, right now, separated from you only by the thinnest of veils, the subtle difference in their vibrational frequency. Each universe is like a radio station, broadcasting its unique song on its own specific frequency, all at the same time. If the multiverse is this infinite library, then what or who is the reader? Here we must introduce the concept of a consciousness that is vaster than your immediate personality. Your higher self, your soul, your eternal being, whatever name you give it, is not confined to a single book in this library. It is the great silent reader, the consciousness that has access to every volume, that is aware of every storyline simultaneously. Your everyday awareness, the you that is listening to these words, is like a reader so completely engrossed in one single compelling story that it has forgotten the library even exists. It is identified completely with the character on one page, believing that this character's life is the only life there is. This brings us to the core mechanism, the beautiful and mysterious process of resonance and bleed-through. The different timelines, the different radio stations are all separated by their unique frequency. But what happens when two stations broadcast at a frequency that is almost identical? You get interference, a moment of crosstalk where one broadcast briefly bleeds into the other. Déjà vu is a form of spiritual and quantum interference. It occurs when your current life situation, your physical location, the people you are with, the activity you are performing, and most importantly, your precise emotional and mental state, resonates so perfectly with that of another you, in a very close parallel timeline, that the veil between your realities becomes momentarily permeable. For a split second, the barrier thins, and you receive a direct influx of their present moment experience. The feeling of having been here before is not a glitch in your memory. It is the reception of a memory from your alternate self who is living that exact moment, perhaps just a fraction of a second ahead of you in their own timeline. You are not remembering your past, you are experiencing their present as a memory. It is a moment of profound resonance, like two perfectly matched tuning forks vibrating in sympathy across the corridors of the multiverse. The echo of their moment becomes a premonition in yours. This is the secret of déjà vu. It is a loving, startling reminder from your own vaster multidimensional self, a whisper from another page in your own great story, proving that the single life you know is but one verse in the infinite song of your being. To understand the mechanics of a memory you never made, let us imagine not a vast library of infinite lives, but something far simpler. 2 rooms. These rooms are perfectly identical, existing side by side, furnished with the exact same chair, the same table, the same window looking out upon the same sky. Separating these 2 rooms is a single curious wall. It is not made of brick or stone, but of a strange, resonant substance that is, for the most part, completely opaque and soundproof. In each room lives a solitary individual. They look identical, they think in similar patterns, they live out their days in near-perfect parallel. They wake at the same moment, they drink their morning coffee in the same way, they feel the same quiet melancholy as the afternoon light fades. But there is one, crucial, almost imperceptible difference. The inhabitant of the first room lives their life just a single second ahead of the inhabitant of the second. For all of their lives, they remain completely unaware of one another. The wall between them, this veil of frequency, is absolute. The man in the second room has no idea that every action he takes, every thought he has already been performed just a moment before by his twin in the first room. He believes his life is a singular, unique, unfolding event. He experiences his choices as his own, his feelings as original, his reality as the one and only reality. The two timelines flow onward, perfectly parallel, perfectly synchronous, yet utterly separate, each contained within its own silent, isolated universe. But one day, a moment of high emotional and energetic resonance occurs. On the table in each room sits a beautiful, treasured, and irreplaceable crystal vase, an heirloom that holds immense sentimental value. At the exact same moment in their respective timelines, which means for the man in the second room it is 1 second after the man in the first, a sudden gust of wind blows through the open window, startling them both. The man in the first room, a second ahead, turns in surprise, his arm catching the vase and knocking it from the table. In that split second, his entire being is consumed by a single powerful, coherent emotional broadcast, a sharp gasp of shock, a flash of denial, the sickening image of the crystal shattering on the floor, and a powerful, immediate surge of loss and grief. It is this intense, pure, and focused spike of emotional energy that does something unprecedented. For that one single instant, the powerful vibration of the first man's experience causes the resonant wall between the rooms to become momentarily permeable. It thins, becoming as translucent as smoke, and in that moment a flicker of his experience, not the full event, but its psychic and emotional echo, bleeds through. Now let us turn to the man in the second room. He turns, startled by the same gust of wind, but a split second before his own arm makes contact with his vase, he is suddenly overwhelmed by a bizarre and inexplicable wave of information. He sees a phantom image of a shattering vase in his mind's eye. He feels a sudden, baseless jolt of shock and loss in his heart, a grief for something that has not yet happened. He is frozen for an instant, confused by this memory of a future, this echo of a moment he has not yet lived. And then his own arm completes its arc, knocks over his own vase, and it falls to the floor, shattering in the exact same way he had just, impossibly, remembered. This is the very essence of déjà vu. You are the inhabitant of the second room. Your senses, your brain, your perception of linear time are the walls of your reality, and most of the time they seem solid and absolute. But you are surrounded by an infinity of other rooms, other timelines, inhabited by other versions of you. And in moments of profound energetic resonance, the wall thins, and you receive a sensory echo, a feeling memory from a nearby self who is living that moment just a breath ahead of you. It is not a glitch in your mind, it is a glimpse through the wall. It is the universe showing you in the most direct and personal way imaginable that you are far vaster than you know, and that your single room is but one small part of an infinite, mysterious, and deeply interconnected mansion. To understand the allegory of the two rooms is to be handed a key to a deeper layer of your own existence. To know that the strange, fleeting feeling of déjà vu is a resonant echo from a parallel self is a staggering revelation. But knowledge, without application, remains a beautiful but inert treasure. The ultimate purpose of this understanding is not simply to marvel at the strange nature of the cosmos, but to use that knowledge to navigate your own life with greater wisdom, consciousness, and freedom. The echoes are not just cosmic curiosities. They are potential tools for guidance, confirmation, and conscious choice. The question now becomes, how do you learn to work with them? How do you move from being a passive recipient of these strange echoes to an active navigator of the timelines they reveal? The first and most fundamental practice is simply to honor the moment. In your life up to this point, when the uncanny feeling of déjà vu has arisen, your first instinct, conditioned by a purely material worldview, was likely to dismiss it. You may have shaken your head, felt a moment of strange disorientation, and then immediately explained it away as tiredness, a trick of the mind, a simple coincidence. The first step in conscious navigation is to reverse this habit. The next time the echo arrives, you must treat it as a sacred event. Pause, take a single conscious breath, close your eyes for a second, if you can. Acknowledge the feeling internally with reverence and curiosity. Think of it as answering a mysterious ringing telephone. By simply acknowledging the call, you are signaling to your vaster, multi-dimensional self that you are listening. This simple act of honoring the experience, of treating it as significant, strengthens the resonant link and makes you more receptive to the subtle information it may contain. Once you have honored the moment, you can proceed to the second practice, the what-if inquiry. This is the art of transforming the echo from a passive glitch into an active source of guidance. Holding the strange familiarity of the moment in your mind, you ask a series of profound introspective questions. You ask, if another version of me has already lived this moment, what is its significance? Am I receiving this echo as a confirmation, a sign that I am on a positive, well-trodden path that has led to a desirable outcome for another self? You feel for the emotional texture of the déjà vu. Does it feel serene, joyful, resonant? If so, it may be an affirmation to proceed with confidence. Or you can ask, is this echo a warning? Is this a memory of a mistake? Another self-made, a loving heads-up from across the veil, giving me a precious split-second opportunity to choose differently this time. Does the feeling carry a subtle undertone of anxiety or regret? This inquiry turns you from a mere experiencer into a detective of your own timeline, learning to interpret these echoes not just as memories, but as meaningful intelligence for the path ahead. Finally, you can learn to recognize a third, larger pattern, the phenomenon of choice point convergence. You may notice that déjà vu experiences do not always arrive at a steady, even pace. Sometimes you will go months or years without one, and then you will experience a cascade of them in a short period. When this happens, you are likely standing at a critical juncture in your life, a major choice point where numerous significant parallel timelines are converging and branching away from your present moment. Imagine your life path arriving at a great invisible delta where the river of your timeline is about to split into many powerful streams. At these junctures, the walls between potential realities become thinner, more permeable, and the crosstalk between your parallel selves becomes more frequent and intense. Recognizing that you are in such a period is immensely empowering. It tells you that the choices you are making right now, in your career, your relationships, your inner state, have a greater than usual power to set your course. It is an invitation from the cosmos to act with your highest possible degree of presence, intention, and awareness, for you are not just choosing your next move, you are choosing your next world. Through these practices, honoring the echo, inquiring into its meaning, and recognizing the great choice points of your life, you transform your relationship with reality. You are no longer haunted by a strange glitch in your memory. You are a conscious navigator, learning to read the subtle currents of the multiverse, guided by the loving, resonant echoes of your own infinite, magnificent self. We began this journey with a simple, unsettling glitch in time, the strange and fleeting experience of déjà vu. We honored its profound sense of significance, refusing to dismiss it as a mere trick of the mind. This refusal led us down a rabbit hole of wondrous possibility, from the theoretical halls of quantum physics, with its vision of a branching multiverse, to the intimate allegory of two identical rooms separated by the thinnest of resonant walls. We have learned to see these echoes not as ghosts of a past you have lived, but as bleed-throughs from a present another you is living. And we have explored the practical art of navigating these echoes, of turning a disorienting moment into a profound opportunity for guidance and conscious choice. Now, at the culmination of our exploration, we must embrace the ultimate implication of this truth, a shift in identity so profound it re-enchants the very meaning of who you are. You have learned to see your life not as a single linear road, but as one of countless paths in an infinite garden of forking timelines. The final realization is this: you are not just a traveler walking a single path. You are the entire garden. Your true self is not confined to the story of this one lifetime, this one set of choices. Your greater consciousness is a vast symphonic being, and each parallel life, each alternate timeline, is a single instrument playing its unique, beautiful, and necessary part in the overall masterpiece. Your current awareness, the you that is listening now, is like the lead violin, its melody clear and dominant, the one you are focused on. But the resonant tones of the cellos, the triumphant call of the brass, the steady rhythm of the percussion, these are your other lives, your other selves, all playing their part in the grand score of your soul's total experience. A moment of déjà vu is a moment of cosmic harmony, a point where the melody of your current life aligns so perfectly with the chord being played by the rest of the orchestra that you momentarily hear the whole symphony. It is a brief, stunning moment of remembering that you are not just the violin, you are the entire orchestra, the composer, and the music itself. This is the transformational call to consciously embrace this vaster symphonic identity. It is an invitation to let go of the regret that binds you to the past, for in another timeline you made the other choice, and that experience is also yours. It is a call to release the anxiety of making the wrong choice in the future, for you are a being vast enough to explore all possibilities. This does not mean your choices in this life cease to matter. On the contrary, they become infinitely more precious. This life, this melody, is the one you have chosen, for now to play with your fullest attention, to give your most focused love, to experience with the greatest possible depth and presence. So when the echo of another moment arrives, when the strange and beautiful feeling of déjà vu graces you, do not be disoriented. Be still, smile, see it for what it is. A gift of perspective, a loving note passed to you from another version of yourself across the sacred architecture of the cosmos. It is a reminder of your own magnificence, a proof of your boundless nature. It is the universe's way of ensuring you never feel truly alone, for you are eternally in the company of your own infinite selves, all playing their part in the great, resonant, and breathtakingly beautiful symphony of you.